Bohdan Yaremenko. He's a Ukrainian member of parliament and a diplomat. He's also the former Ukrainian Consul General in Istanbul. He joins me now from Kiev. Bohdan, good to have you on the show. I'd like to start off by asking you what you think of Moscow attacking Kiev with multiple missile strikes just when the United Nations Secretary General wrapped up a visit to Moscow and was very near the capital when these strikes happened. What type of message do you think Vladimir Putin is trying to give?
Good afternoon. It's an obvious message because UN Secretary General arrived to Kiev after his visit to Moscow. So Moscow leadership and commanders are very well aware about his presence in Kiev. So it's a sign whether they're ready, or basically that they are not ready for any serious negotiations, that they still counting on their military force as the means of resolving the situation and basically defeating Ukraine. So it's leaving us again and again with no other choice but to continue defending ourselves.
If you feel that Russia is trying to solve this crisis through military means, there is another country who's trying to prevent that, and that is the United States. The Biden administration has just come out, and we know that the administration is asking Congress for an additional $33 billion aid package for your country. Is this what you think that the President, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, wanted to see in terms of the West stepping up its support?
Well, the only country defending ourselves is Ukraine. The rest, there are a lot of other countries that are assisting us in this. And the United States is leading the international efforts to assist Ukraine to defend ourselves. So it's our military fighting on the battlefield and no one else. But of course, without the technical support, the military support, financial support, we would not sustain. This is definitely yesterday's decision of Congress vital for us. They're signaling the major change in the attitude of the United States, and I believe the attitude of other countries would follow, that they do trust in our victory at the end of this battle, at the end of this war, and they would not basically withstand of supporting Ukraine. So the amount of, and we are talking basically the US president would ask Congress for additional 33 billion of US dollars. The major part of this amount would be directed on the military assistance, some part to economic and financial assistance. So it's providing us with the instruments we need to do our job, to defend ourselves.
Do you feel that your country is being caught up in a proxy war? We know that the president, when speaking from the White House, he says that, you know, we're not attacking Russia, we're just helping Ukraine defend its own territory. But if you spend $33 billion, it is a clear message saying that they want Russia to be defeated in this.
Again, there are no US soldiers, US troops fighting on our souls. On our soil. So it's just Ukrainian military that are fighting in this war. From this point of view, US doing what has been said to openly, internationally, again on the bilateral level to Ukraine, that United States will not be engaged in this war directly. But United States is doing what basically they promised to do, to support democracy, they promised to support country with its, the nation, Ukrainian nation, with its rights to defend our future. And they doing this in a very effective way. They doing it with an open heart, sincerely. And again, the amount of the assistance that they're spending on this issue is really impressive.
Bohdan, I know that you said that it is us, it is the Ukrainians that is fighting this war, but there is another type of war out there, and that is a war on energy. The West has always seen Russia's energy supplies as its Achilles heel. They're finally targeting that. But Russia may see this actually as their trump card. We've seen them going to cut off natural gas supplies to countries like Poland and Bulgaria. Do you fear that this move might actually sort of expose some possible cracks within the European Union, which has been fairly united up until now?
I believe that Russia is using economy, trade, and especially the energy resources as the instrument of war for a long, long time. And the United States has never provoked them to do so. With Ukraine or in our country, we're suffering from this approach of Russia for at least a decade, that they suddenly cutting out the supplies, suddenly changing the rules, the conditions. So it's basically the very well-known instrument of Russia foreign policy, the energy diplomacy, or basically the energy force. So I do not believe that anything the United States would do to supply Ukraine would change Russia policy. At the end, of course, if Ukraine would sustain and would defeat Russian force, it might change the Russia's policy. But before, Putin is in power and feel himself on a safe soil, so they would continue to do whatever they consider the right for their country. And of course, it's a very aggressive policy, and I believe it's affecting Turkey as well because of the Russia's constant attempts to raise the oil prices, to raise the gas prices. So nothing new is happening in this sense, and I do not believe that the United States is provoking Russia.
Okay. Bohdan Yaremenko, thank you very much for coming on the NewsHour. I do appreciate your analysis. Thank you.